I don't know what is going on, but I think we're in training camp too here. So this is Tea Time with Robyn. What's up, everyone? Thank you for tuning in. You know who I got here with me. It's Robyn. What's up, Robyn? How you doing?
Fine. That music is like perfect entrance for this season, I think. It's kind of spooky, mysterious, like you don't have any idea what's coming kind of music. I like
Yeah,
it.
because I think people are definitely counting the bills out because they don't know. And so I was on Chris's show yesterday, and he asked me about the window, and this is off topic. The window of the Buffalo Bills is the window shut. And I'm like, I can understand why people think that. I can understand why every year, if you don't make it to a Super Bowl, your window slowly goes goes down. I said, but on the flip side of that, you can also say that if you have Josh Allen, your window's never closed. So I'm not a Super Bowl or bust type of a fan. I'm more of a, okay, when is it going to happen? It's not like Sean McDermott said. It's not a matter of if. It's a matter of when. Now, training camp is here. Everybody is in attendance. Oh God, we don't have to worry about. Oh my God, we are drama free. We are drama free.
And I like it.
Right?
Can we breathe in all of that nice, relaxed, stress-free air? Can we just do that for a moment?
Right.
And talk about the vets that have returned to training camp as we speak, right? Stuff's happening as we speak. Good morning, Sandra.
Good morning, Sandra. Yes, they reported, and Matt Milano is practicing as well.
Excellent news. Isn't it
Right?
excellent news? So I made a few notes.
Okay.
Okay. Notes, scribbles.
She got her notes, y'all.
Yeah. Well, I gotta write stuff down at my age. So the veterans returning to camp, I looked at the photographs. I always do that because
Mm-hmm.
that's the psychotherapist in me. I'm looking at people and how are they looking and what's their mood like and what are they coming into camp like.
Right.
And I made note of a few things and I wondered what you thought about this as well. Um, I thought Josh looked a little leaner.
Yeah. Yeah. He does. He looks good. Josh looks good.
Josh
I
looks really good.
He also has a sleeve on his right arm. Yes, on his right arm. So here's the thing about that. Didn't really think about it either last year or year prior. You remember Josh was injured 2 years ago, right?
Hmm.
By, I think it was a Jets game. And we didn't know if he was going to practice, didn't know what was going to happen there. I think it was the Jets game.
It
Yeah, it
was.
was a Jets game. And then he re-injured it last year.
Hmm.
So 2 years in a row, Josh wasn't doing too much of throwing, they said, in the offseason.
Hmm.
And this offseason, he did some throwing. So do you think it was because of his arm, maybe?
Maybe. I think.
Or am I
I
reading
think.
too much into this?
No, I don't. No, I don't think so. It's interesting because his off-season programming. Hello,
What's up,
hi,
Robbie?
Robbie.
New
Um,
York City.
yeah, this off-season programming that he did was a little different because he allegedly, from what I read, spent a little bit of time back with Jordan Palmer,
Mm-hmm.
and it was to correct some mechanics, some issues that came up because of what you were talking about, the UCL, the ulnar collateral ligament, that
Right.
issue that he had. And I believe he had an AC joint okay, up in his shoulder too that bothered him. He got nailed with that.
Mm-hmm.
So it threw his mechanics off from what I read. And I wish I could credit where I read that, but I don't remember. But it made sense to me because he was playing in pain.
Yeah.
So he was uncomfortable, and it was probably throwing his mechanics off a little bit. He got back with Jordan Palmer and apparently got righted on that, which is
Mm-hmm.
terrific. Um, so I think Josh looks leaner. I think that might mean that he's going to be a little bit more fleet of foot
Right.
without carrying that extra weight. And I think overall he looks really good, rested, happy. Everything's ready to go into a non-drama season. These players now, there's only one guy, one wide receiver that he's even thrown a pass to. That's Shakir.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So he's got new players. And I think he's mentally ready, really ready to go. The other notes I made quickly,
Mm-hmm.
um, Dwayne Carter, I thought he looked great. He reminds me, in a way, of Kyle Williams in terms of
Mm.
how he approaches the game because he comes in and you see how these guys are dressed, right? And Carter comes in and he's all gabbed out in his Bills gear and he's got his lanyard on and his notebook and he looks like he's like ready to go.
Right.
And he comes in like a team captain and he's a rookie, right? And but he was a team captain for Duke for 3 years.
Yes.
So the guy's got some kind of leadership thing and it projects. You can see it in the way that he presents himself. And so I'm kind of excited. When I saw him, I was like, wow, I think we're going to have a winner there. I do. I think he's going to be a real plus in the locker room. And then, of course, you'll love this. But here comes Mac Hollins
Oh
comes
my
in.
goodness.
Ah, here's
Yes.
okay. Here's what I have a new name for him.
Oh
I'm
boy, what is it?
He's the barefoot Jesus.
Barefoot Jesus.
So
Eh,
whenever we talk about him, we're going to talk about barefoot Jesus.
I like it. I
I'm
like
telling
it.
you, with his hair hanging down barefoot. I laughed my butt off. I'm like, aren't your feet hot on that
I,
pavement?
I was about to say, I mean, if you haven't been to Fisher, there is no shade.
No, and it can be hot, hot,
It's
hot.
hot on that ground.
Phew.
I'm like, how are you just walking? Oh my God, dude. This
So
is
he's barefoot
crazy.
Jesus. I'm telling
Yeah,
you,
he's
he's
something.
barefoot Jesus.
Let's
Okay. And
put some
then
shoes on.
next note, Keon Coleman. Oh my God, does he look like a stud? He is primed
Yeah,
and ready to go.
yeah,
And I think people that I get it, he's a rookie and don't put too much on him. And they don't like to play Mickeys and
right.
tell me all of that stuff. But when Shakir breaks out and starts burning everybody, they're going to have to put two people on him. And when they do, watch out, Keon Coleman
Yeah,
and Dalton Kincaid. But I think people are, I don't know, underestimating what his rookie season might look like.
mm-hmm.
Let's just say that. And then the other thing I noted, holy crap, behind James Cook, what do we got? Ty Johnson and Ray Davis
That's
both
going to
look
be a
like,
battle.
oh my God, yes, it's going to be the battle of training camp, one of the big battles of training camp,
Yeah,
in my opinion. But you just look at both dudes, and they both look like they could run over a truck.
yeah. I mean, that's the one.
I'm
That's
glad
the
you like
one.
that.
Yeah. Barefoot Jesus. That's
Barefoot
the one we gotta use. We might have to call this title Barefoot Jesus. I'm renaming this Barefoot Jesus.
Okay,
Um,
please. That's a good one.
um, I have a side note. That's the two that I am. Ray Davis is my guy.
Yes, I
I'm
do.
definitely gonna be looking at him when I go to training camp. That's the room. That running back room is going to be very interesting
Mm.
because if Cook don't get it right, Neither one of them can step up and take some reps from him.
Hey, and don't rule out. I'm telling you, Frank Gore Jr.
Yeah,
He's in camp.
I'm.
He might
I'm.
make the practice squad.
Yeah, I think he's going to make the. I mean, you can't that pedigree. He's coming from
Come on.
come on, a running back. His father, like, yeah, yeah. He was
And everybody
born
doubted
into
his
it.
father when he came into the
Yeah,
league, just like him. So
absolutely.
I hear you. Come on,
Yeah.
Frank. All
Speaking
right.
of the offense, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I know we're moving along here today. We got things to do.
Yeah, I got to cut out
She's cutting out
shortly.
early
Yeah, yeah.
today because she's got things to do.
And we're taping early too. We apologize. We normally drop on a Thursday, but
Because she had things to do.
I'm going on vacation. So I apologize. We don't have a lot of camp notes. And again, we'll get it right next week. Forgive us or forgive me or whatever.
Yeah.
But move.
Give you.
Sorry. Moving on to the offense, and will this offense of Joe Brady include the screen game? And we know the bubble screen last year, it was a hot mess. Try to do it with Diggs, and it never went anywhere. Shakir kind of had something, but Ray Davis in college, I mean, he might bring it out because that's what some of his tape, that's what it was. And can he bring it out in the Buffalo Bills? I know Josh doesn't like to throw the
There you
screen
go,
pass.
right there. You want
I
to know
know.
that's why you haven't seen it.
I know he doesn't like it. But if you
It's
got a
not
guy
his
that can
it's
do it,
not his favorite, and it's definitely not. I'm going all the way back to his University of Wyoming days. He has never been a screen pass guy because he can throw the most beautiful 50-yard bomb in the world,
yes.
but turn around and swing and throw a 5-yard screen pass? Nope.
I guess it's just the arm
Concentration.
itself, right?
It's concentration.
Oh,
I
okay.
can just hear Tom Brady in his head going, like you have to be as precise with a 5-yard bubble pass, right? As you
Mm-hmm.
are with your 50-yard pass. You have to pay attention. You have just because that's a little
Yeah,
whatever. Focus, Josh.
right. I get it. I think it would be another
They
weapon
Are you
for
kidding
this
me?
offense.
James Cook will eat lunch.
Yes.
If Josh gets in the groove with those screen passes, if Joe Brady gets him set up and he starts getting comfortable with those, oh,
I
oh,
mean, you
that's
can
gonna
have it. You can have it. Ray Davis today. I got some notes from Alex from the Batavia Down, a reporter. He was saying that Ray Davis is doing great out of the backfield, catching passes out the backfield. So if we could do it, I know it's not Josh's strong suit,
right.
but if you can add that element to this offense, I think it would just take this offense to another, a different level. But I get it. I totally get it.
Okay, the only other comment I want to make about that in terms of Joe Brady's offense is how much are we going to see more development of the 12 personnel? Because I think having two tight ends out there it makes me want to drool at the possibilities.
And we
But
might see it because of the wide receiver room itself. How
exactly.
inexperienced, I want to say inexperienced, but
With the
inexperience
Bills, they
of
are.
playing
On
together.
this
Right.
offense, they are.
Yeah.
Everybody's inexperienced on this offense. And,
Yeah.
we're just kind of getting in the groove with Joe. We don't even know what Joe Brady's true flavor is going to be
Yeah.
because he got put on the hot seat. He comes in midseason. All he can do is twist a few of Dayball's plays around and change the language and hope for the best and throw maybe a wrinkle in or two in. But this is truly Joe Brady's offense. So I'm curious to see, are we going to see more domination of the running game? And I'm hopeful that we do because I'd like to see a more efficient running game than we've had since all the way back to Dayball.
Yeah. I, man, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just excited about you. You know how you wake up and it's like it's a different smell in the air. I told someone yesterday. I said when training camp hits, my summer is over.
Oh,
My
I
summer
wouldn't be.
is my summer is over.
I already want my husband knows this because this is a yearly thing. It's
You're
like
you're
training camp.
your husband's like, lost my wife.
Ah, there she goes. I won't see her until maybe mid-February if we're lucky.
Yeah,
And oh my gosh, yes. Once the season, once training camp starts, it's like, let's go.
yeah.
Right?
Downhill
Let's
from there. I'm
go.
ready. I'm
I'm
ready.
ready. Let's go.
So
So
in training camp right now, you want to know who started out as number one safeties? Damar Hamlin and Taylor Rapp were running with the ones.
well,
So
one
that takes me to our next question of how many safeties do they roster? 4 or 5. So here's the list. Cam Lewis, he can play both.
he
Damar
stays.
Hamlin, Cole Bishop, Rapp, Edwards, and D. Delaney. All right, I think I said that right. So how many do they roster?
5.
Ooh, you got 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because what you said right now even makes it more that way. But here's what I had before you just mentioned this little tidbit of yours. Um, Rapp, Edwards, Bishop, Cam Lewis, and Hamlin, I was going to put on the practice squad. But if he's running with the ones right now, then
So I'll say
those would
this
be
about
5.
that. You said you put Damar Hamlin on the practice squad. I think you get poached if he's on the practice squad.
He might.
For one, I think Damar Hamlin knows his defense so well.
He does.
And we have to remember when Damar came back from, his situation.
His near-death experience.
Right. He was still trying to figure it out, right? He was still trying to figure out, should I just go with the flow? Am I going to be, walking on eggshells? Where am I? Where am I? Came back from this life death situation. So he was still, it's an injury actually. So let's just say he's 1 year removed from his injury.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing the playbook, I'm surprised and not surprised that he's running with the ones.
That's interesting.
But very interesting. Very,
Very,
very
very.
interesting.
It doesn't surprise me that Bishop's not, because
No.
McDermott he's gonna bring him along slowly.
Okay, I got some news from that too. All right, let me go get it. So, Bishop today. So Bishop, Sean McDermott, you know how he feels about rookies, and he was saying that Bishop might be more of a package, like putting him out in
Periodically.
yes,
In certain
and not
packages.
overwhelming him when it comes to.
Well, here's the deal. The reason they're going to do that is because he never played in anything but man-to-man.
Right.
And
Right.
so this defense is completely different than anything he's ever played in. So that's going to make McDermott and Babbage probably a little bit more reluctant to just throw the book at him. And I could see that. The package that he might come in on is when they are actually set up more man-to-man. And bring him along. That would make sense. I also want to make one quick comment here because I included Cam Lewis. He's listed under the safeties, which I thought was very interesting. But he can be your nickel corner too.
Right.
And let's remember, he played very well last year until he got injured, and in fact, unseated Taron Johnson for a short period of time.
Oh
And
yeah, that's
he
right.
did. And so they're high on Cam Lewis, and he also has been in this defense a long time. So he knows it very well. So I don't think Cam Lewis can be ignored because I
No,
think
I don't think so either. I think if Cam was put on the practice squad, he
get
might
poached.
survive and he might get poached. But yeah, yeah. But so going back to Bishop, Sean McDermott said most likely he will be like in the dime list. which is comfortable for a
Exactly.
landing spot for Bishop to start the season off with. So
Yep.
very,
And let's
very, very
remember, our
interesting.
head coach was a safety.
Right.
So he
So
probably
if he
has some
knows,
idea
if
about how to
anybody
coach them up.
knows,
He
he
knows.
knows. So you
Speaking of
said five
safeties.
safeties. Yeah, I can see that. I definitely can see that. I mean, I think the odd man I probably would be D Delaney. He might go to this. I don't even can't remember, was he a vet or not? I can't remember. I have to get. You know what I have to do,
A
and I said this
roster
to you.
sheet.
Yes, I have to get a roster sheet.
Pardon us,
Yeah.
people. We're not organized yet.
Yes, we're not. We're not. We apologize. I apologize again. I am on vacation. My brain is vacation mode. I apologize.
You don't have to apologize.
Speaking of safeties in Micah Hyde,
Yes.
any word? Do we know anything that's going on with Micah Hyde right now?
No, but I have an inkling because Mike has not put in his retirement papers.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's significant. And Micah has said, as he did at his foundation baseball, softball tournament, that he would never play for another team other than the Bills. Next thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know what Micah's issue really is, and that's his neck. And the stingers that he seems to be repeatedly getting, which isn't a good thing.
No.
And you really want to limit, if he plays anymore, you want to limit how much that is. So my feeling is that he'll sit out the season unless there's a major injury or that sort of thing. Then I think he would come in. But I would not be surprised at all to see him show up right before the playoffs.
I wouldn't be either. I was asked if you think Micah Hyde would be a safeties coach. And I don't see that. I see either Micah playing or Micah not playing. I
I
don't
don't
see that.
I don't see Micah as a coach, at least at this point in his life,
Yeah.
because he has two very young children.
Hmm.
And I believe that if he does anything, it's going to be a dad for a while
Yeah.
and watch his kids grow. But I believe, and this is probably very prudent of him. It's like, I don't want to play any meaningless games because my
Right.
neck is on the line here. But I don't want to give up the possibility that the Bills go into a playoff run and they need
And I'm
me.
not there. Yeah, yeah. So how does that work? Like, I
Oh, they
know you
just walk
keep
right
in
by me.
shape, right? You
Yeah.
just keep in shape.
Hmm.
But when you do that, you're not in football shape.
Right. Which is why if he did come back, it would be late in the season. It would be before the playoffs so he could get reacclimated.
Hmm. Yeah.
Hmm. But that's what I see for Micah. I think he's just going to stay in San Diego, enjoying the weather
Yeah.
and having a good time and enjoying his kids. And if the Bills need him, he'll be there.
Not surprised that he wasn't there today. I mean, he's a vet. Even if that was the case, maybe he would have been in a pub or something like that. So wasn't shocked not to see him there. Let's talk about AJ Epinesa and maybe his starting role and how does the Vaughn situation plays in this. Seen Vaughn today in some video. He's wearing a sleeve on his leg, but
Hmm.
he's dipping. Dip, baby, dip. He looks good. He looks like the old Vaughn, like he's dipping his shoulder. But how does that affect AJ Epinesa and his reps? Because we want to see AJ take a jump.
Yeah,
Like
we do.
his snaps, we want his snaps to go up a little bit more. We want to see AJ set that, set that edge. How do you want to see AJ and how do you see him and Vaughn?
He's got he's got some he's got some work to do in terms of proving himself. I think last year was a good season for him.
Mm-hmm.
He's a solid player. I wouldn't say that he's a great player, but I think he's still early enough in his career because you see this with some guys where they're late bloomers.
Right.
And I think, remember how we talked about this on a pod before about how his weight was jerked around and then he had
Yes.
a couple of
They didn't know
horses.
how to,
He
and I
wasn't
think
well
that was the
developed.
downfall because they
He
wanted
was
him to
not
lose
well
weight,
developed.
and then he lost too much weight. Then he had to put the weight
Exactly.
back on, and I think last
It
year,
hurt him.
yeah, but I think towards the end
Yep.
they got it right
Yep.
somehow. So yeah.
Yes. So that's my note on AJ. There's some interesting there's some interesting players that are going to make noise, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
during training camp and the preseason. I have always liked Cameron Klein. And
Cameron Klein. Okay.
Cameron Klein,
Right.
and
Right.
I've always liked that guy. Every time I see him play, he kind of stands out to me. But we've
Mm-hmm.
got Javon Solomon from Troy, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
and he's a draftee, a rookie, so he might make some noise. You never know. And then there's two guys that have injury questions: Smoot and Casey Toohill. Both of them have great potential, but we have to see if they're recovered from injuries that they've had in the past that have held them back.
Right.
Can I can I just make a snide remark?
Go ahead. Make that snide. Make that remark.
Snide remark. Okay, this is my spill the tea. Even though we're not doing a spill the tea, this is
Oh, I
more
can I can boot it up real quick.
booted up.
Okay. Oh, we're doing spontaneous spill the
Spontaneous
tea.
spill the tea. This has got to be said.
Okay, hold on. Let me get it. Let me get it. This is
He's gonna
great
get
because
it,
I didn't know we
folks.
were doing it.
He's gonna
Can I
get it.
find it? Oh my God, this is crazy. Here we go.
For me, come on, just spill that. Come on, just spill that tea for me. Spill no dirty tea. Yeah, tell me everything. Come on, just spill that.
Okay, now that we're grooving in this, I just had to bring this up because I saw
You're
it
good.
pass my timeline, and I just shook my head. So apparently, Jordan Poyer has taken it upon himself to make some commentary as he enters his first year with the Miami Dolphins.
What?
And yes, Jordan Palmer or
Oh,
Poyer, excuse me, Jordan Poyer, he's making statements. And the first, because these are shots across the bow, he's the grizzled veteran for the Miami Dolphins who is trying to give them the secret sauce in beating the Bills.
what did he say?
He said, we have a reputation, we being the Miami Dolphins, we have a reputation for folding in games.
Yeah, you do. It's not a lie.
Exactly. But I'm laughing because you know what he's doing. He's definitely trying to spill the tea, stir the
Yeah,
pot,
stir the
all
pot.
that. Use his I think it's great strategy on his part.
Jordan, you haven't been there 6 months. Sit down somewhere. I seen his freaking jersey, the white jersey. Well, listen, don't.
This is all I have to say.
All I know, Jordan. Right, exactly. Jordan, don't do it. Don't do it, Jordan. You seen what Josh Allen did to the Miami Dolphins, and you were a part of that team, Jordan. Don't be on the poster, Jordan. He
So
did the whole.
my question is this to you. This question. Does
Yes,
Jordan Palmer, why do I want to say that? Jordan
because you're gonna
Poyer.
call him later.
Yeah, I'm gonna call him later. Jordan Poyer, is he gonna get an interception off of Josh first?
God, I
Or
hope
is
not.
no? Or is Josh Allen gonna rock his world,
Or,
roll over the top of him?
or he's going to get a touchdown on Jordan Poyer. That would be the ultimate. Or Ray Davis or James Cook roll over his ass. No, I'm sorry, Jordan. You are on the other
You
side
are
of
going to
it.
get trucked.
It's just like when we go against Houston. I need somebody to knock the friendly, of course, friendly knockout the hell out of Diggs. You are now enemy. We
Yes.
don't care who you are, buddy. If you're not part of the Buffalo Bills, I don't care about you.
Business.
And Jordan Poyer, you had the audacity to go to Miami. I get it. Your family's there. I don't really don't hold it against you. But you are the enemy now.
I'll hold it against him. I'm not afraid to say it. I'll hold it against him. I felt the same way, Thurman. Thurman, I will never forgive you. I love you to pieces, but I could never forgive you. Watching him in the Dolphins uniform was...
He looks nasty. Have you seen him?
Yeah.
He looks disgusting. Sandra said, rock his world. You got dang right, Sandra. We're going to rock his world. We're not playing with you. We're not playing with Jordan Poyer. Don't do that. You haven't learned. Listen, you know who hasn't learned their lesson? Miami fans who talked after game 3, I think it was, of 2 years ago.
Super Bowl.
That's all they do. And they talk about our Super Bowl too, but Super Bowls. But they were like Super Bowl, but then, because Josh Allen and the team was dead almost on the field because it was so freaking hot. So, but then you had to come to Buffalo. Remember, you have to come to Buffalo. I'm just saying. They didn't put the T-shirts out like this for nothing. I'm just saying.
Good luck.
Good luck. But you know what I wanted to say about AJ Epenesa is that he said he wanted to start. He wanted to be a double-digit sack guy. He knows that the rotation is. The defense is a rotational defense. AJ said he's coming in with an attitude, and I love that. I love to hear when guys are coming with a chip on their shoulder and wanting to prove something. And I think that's where AJ is right now. Mm-hmm. He said he wants to be consistent. Because last year, the year before, AJ he does those knockdown passes. Did you know he had 8 of them last year?
Yes, that's his thing.
Yes.
He does it all the time, they say, in practice. All the time. Pisses Josh off.
Yeah, he said pisses Josh off. I love it.
On a regular basis.
So I can't wait for AJ, though.
Yes, I agree with everything you're saying about AJ. Now, from a psychological perspective, he is in a position similar to what Ed Oliver was in terms of being set up, right, for success. Right. And I think the chip on his shoulder is a good thing because from a psychological perspective, you can see that AJ's personality, his innate personality, is much more slow burn and laid back as a person.
Yeah, for sure.
But taking that edge to his game is going to take his game to the next level. I agree with you. I think he could have a very, very big year.
Yeah. All right, moving on. It's going to be linebackers. Like I said, Milano is out there practicing. Do you think Milano start week 1?
No.
I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, they got Bell Inspector. He gets hurt, but he knows his offense is going to his 3rd year. Dorian Williams going into his 2nd year. You got the vets, Jones. You have Nicholas Morrow. I think his name is
Morrow.
Morrow. My bad.
Morrow. And may I say something?
Yep.
I would encourage people to go to YouTube and look at Nicholas Morrow.
Yes.
And his highlights, because that's who I think might start in the first game. Okay. Now, the second game, our season is, right? Okay, we open up against the Cards, and then 3 days later, we're on Thursday Night Football against the Dolphins in Miami. So
and you can't take the Cardinals light either. I mean,
you can't. But I'm talking about Matt Milano.
Yeah.
I think they'll ease him in, but they definitely want him for that Miami game. He'll get some
Yeah,
playing time against that.
yeah.
I know whether he'll probably get some play. I don't think he'll play in the preseason.
No, I don't think he play in the preseason too. I would not chance it. I mean, if you do, because also too, they're playing. Oh my God, they're having a joint practice, and you can probably see how that would,
Right,
play and see how your
right.
guys will go against another team. So I wouldn't play Milano in a preseason game at all. You know what is so funny though? Last year at this time, we're trying to figure out who was going to be besides Matt Milano. Oh my God, Trey White is gone. I mean,
Tremaine Edmunds.
Tremaine Edmunds is gone. Who's going to be beside him? Who
That was the
knew?
big question, and we
Yes.
all looked at Terrell Bernard and went, "God, he's
No,
awful
he
small."
can't. He can't.
He's
We
a
don't even know who this
rebel.
guy
I was very,
is.
very, very low expectation level for him. And then all he did was like blow
Show
everybody's
out.
expectation. Oh my God, can he ball? The
But
question is, how durable can he be? That's my only concern about him because of his
I want to
size.
see how he looks this year.
Yeah, I
Like,
do
did he
too.
put on any weight? I don't want him to put weight on where he slows down. But
No.
what did he do this off season to? I mean, injuries are injuries, but what can you do prevent those injuries? From happening. Um,
And
but
how are you
yeah,
going to keep? How are you going? How are you going to keep Dorian Williams off the field?
you cannot keep him off the field. I
So
think
you have to do
last
what?
year, towards the end of the season, I think last year
The lights
everything
going on.
slowed down. Yeah. Everything slowed down a little bit for him. You can't keep that guy off the field.
They're going
He's
to have
too
to find a
talented. Yeah. You're
maybe
gonna have to
they'll
do something.
maybe they'll rotate linebackers, depending on games and situational football, right?
And I
Maybe
know they don't like to go three linemen, but who knows?
linebackers. No, they
Yeah, I mean,
don't.
yeah,
It's usually base is a 4-2-6, but in certain matchups, we saw them do this last year. They would
hmm
go into a 4-3.
right.
So, uh, but I'm telling you what, I thought originally when I looked at the list, I'm like, there's nobody that really strikes any fear, from an outside
Yeah,
perspective. However, as we know as Bills fans, we know what Dorian Williams did toward the end of the season.
hmm
It really looked like it at times he was impossible. I
yeah.
mean, he was playing at a really high level.
He was in
And
the
then I
backfield and everything.
felt so much better when I looked at Nicholas Morrow's highlights because this guy is a turnover machine in addition to pounding the crap out of people.
hmm
He's a dude that I think not a lot of people have him on the radar. You watch him in training camp. I
Okay,
think he's going to be somebody to watch.
I'll definitely be watching him as well. And last but not least, I didn't put this on the docket, but the kickoff game, the return
Oh,
game. Players will be 5 yards away from each other. Blocking will be a major.
it's going to be way
It's gonna
different.
be. It's gonna. And they said so. Sean McDermott did say today that they'll be going live when they do this. It's going to be
Mhm.
live
They
because
need to.
you
They need to
don't know.
practice.
Yeah, you don't. What are we
They need
doing
to
here?
practice because you don't even know who's going to be good at this new way of doing
Yes.
things.
And who's going to weaponize it first? What team is going to use this as their advantage? You could
I hope it's
say,
the Bills.
I hope it's us first. But back in the day, it was always New England doing something to
Yes.
weaponize some new rule or whatever in the effect of of the season. And you're just like, they did it again. So hopefully it's the Buffalo Bills that can come up with something and use it in this upcoming season because I think everybody's trying to figure it out.
It's been a while since special teams for the Buffalo Bills have been really good.
I
They've
want to
been
say it was it with who was the punt returner? Oh my God, what was his name?
we've had a few.
Yeah, but he would always take it back to the house. Was it Woods?
Oh,
Andre,
Robert Woods.
what? Robert. Yes. No.
Who are you talking about, girl?
It wasn't Andre. What was Andre? Yes, it was.
Oh,
Wasn't it Andre Woods?
no, it was somebody. God, I wish names would stop going
I
out of my
know,
head.
right? I'm sorry. Forgive us, guys. We don't know.
Yeah,
And if you do
forgive us.
know,
It was a Rex Ryan guy,
yes.
and I forgot because he's been bouncing around the league. Please
Yeah.
forgive
After
me.
he left us, he went to
Been with the
Houston. He was somewhere.
Texans.
Yep.
He's been
Forgive
around.
us. He was
Hey,
really good
whoever
back
he
there.
is.
Yes. We didn't have to back then. We didn't have to worry about any punt returns, anything, no kickoffs, nothing. He was
No,
just that good, and our special
totally.
teams was on point those few years. So yeah, it's
Well,
going to be
and
really interesting to see.
it needs to be a better part of the game for the Buffalo
Yes,
Bills. Special teams was not special last year.
nothing
And
special about it.
no. And so I'm glad the redesign means maybe now there's a chance for the Bills to get it right with special teams because they haven't been. And I was surprised that the coach held his job. Smiley, is that right?
Yes, yep.
Oh, I got a name right. So that's the deal. I believe that special teams has to have an emphasis this year.
They
And
have to.
because it's new, there's opportunity the way it sounds like it's being set up. There's a lot of opportunity for turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of like, a squib kick or a trick play,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. And that's the other thing I'd like to see. Gosh, could we have some creativity on special teams?
Yeah, we don't have any creativity at all when it comes to this offense. And I'm kind of all right with it, I guess. I mean, don't go out your way to do it. If you feel uncomfortable, then don't do it. You know what I mean? So I get it. I do get it. But guys, not to cut you short, but we have to cut you short.
Cut her short.
I gotta go.
Cut her short. She's got vacation, man. She's got places to be, things to do.
Yes,
People to
before
see.
before we get into the grind of the Buffalo Bills training camp, football season, all of that, I gotta take a trip. I gotta go on a little trip to with my family. Yeah, for sure.
We want you to have a good time and come back well
Yes.
rested and happy.
Oh, I'm coming back. First day back. I'm at training camp, so it's gonna be
Awesome. So
yeah.
I already told you off camera.
Yes, I have
You
homework
have
to do.
assignments.
I got assignments,
'Cause
which I'm fine with.
You have to make
Yes.
sure that you are.
And one year, Robyn's going to come down. I'm going to get tickets. And I'm like, listen, this is the day I got tickets. Come on down. And we're going to make it happen. We're going to do a live at training camp. Chris was like, why don't you do a live at training camp? I said, do you know how hot it is up there?
Phew.
It's hot as shit out there.
Girl, I was at camp when it was 94 degrees one day, the last time that I was there. And I about died. I mean, I literally about
There's
died.
no shade. It's no shade unless you get underneath the tree back there, and then you can't really see what's going on. So
And then
you gotta toughen it out. But
Okay.
guys, thank you, Sandra. Thank you for tuning in always. We appreciate you. Robbie, thank you for tuning in as well.
Yes.
You got any articles coming out? Anything going on with you?
No, I'm gonna probably do some notes. We're because we couldn't get tickets to training camp for practices for Dean. Our astronauts are only going to be he's only going to make it to a couple of games.
Oh man.
Unless people, and maybe I can plead, if anybody has any extra tickets, please let me know, because it would be great for us to get notes at buffalofanbase.com. We're not going to be able to cover the way we normally do, but we're going to try to be creative and do our best.
There you go. Like us, we're being creative and doing the best we can. Again, this is coming out early Wednesday. Normally we tape on Thursday, but for everybody that tuned in, we definitely appreciate you. Thank you so much. Always. This is Tea Time with Robyn, and it's always Go Bills. Peace, y'all. Can I do it? Yes, I can.